There is something very strange about how quickly can trust disappear, right? I once heard that someone I respected a lot had been talking badly about me. Like, I had no proof and no confrontation, just something someone casually mentioned about them. And suddenly, everything changed in between that person and my relationship. The way they looked at me last week felt different. Their last message felt like even more cold, and even that specific, like this small silences started to feel very intentional. Nothing in reality had actually changed, but in my mind, everything had. Okay, none of that actually happened. I just told you a story. And for a moment, your body probably reacted as if it was real, right? And that's how powerful narrative is. So we don't just experience reality directly, we experience the story we tell about reality. Think about it. One of the greatest writer in our century, Yuval Harari, wrote this book Nexus, and I'm reading it. I really recommend anyone to read this. It's a very good book. He explains that large-scale societies don't survive because of pure truth. They survive because of shared stories, like money story, and the nation are stories, and corporations are stories, even law we made are stories. And what shocked me wasn't that these are fictions. They actually work because we believe in them together. We give them value together. Harari says that mythology and bureaucracy are the twin pillars of every large society. For example, the mythology fascinates us and bureaucracy confuses us. We can remember a 24,000 verses long epic like Ramayana or Ramayana for generations, right? But we struggle to remember a simple list because evolution has trained our brain for narration, not for spreadsheets. And stories move us, and lists don't. And that's not just harmless, because when information becomes complex, hidden behind paperwork systems, data, institution, it becomes harder to understand power. But stories can make power feel simple. Stories can make it feel more meaningful and more connected to us, right? And to be honest, that made me very uncomfortable at the same time because if money is a story, if luxury is a story, if success is a story, then what about the identity? Identity as whole. How much of who I think I am is just a narrative I have repeated long enough to believe? Or someone has told me about my identity. So, how much of this is not my job is a story? How much of this is how the world works is a story? Once enough people believe something together, it stops feeling like fiction. It starts feeling like truth. So, as designers, this is very uncomfortable because we don't just create objects, we create design narratives. We create luxury bag which isn't just leather. It's a story of status, and a logo which isn't just about typography. It's a story of trust. A flag isn't just a fabric, it's a story about belongingness for a bunch of people. The most powerful design tool isn't colors or a form or a typography. It's narrative. And that means we hold more responsibility than we admit because stories shape identities. Stories build alliances. Stories justify systems. Stories can unite people. Stories can manipulate people. And stories were the first information technology humans ever created, according to Yuval, and which I totally believe in. And today, we have just made them faster. But faster information doesn't guarantee truth, right? It just spreads stories more efficiently. And the scary part is, we don't choose what's true. We don't. And we choose what feels meaningful. And so maybe the real question isn't, is this true? Maybe it's who benefits from me believing this story. Think about it.